just about this vegan thing and how it all came about, because it's a pretty wild story. Like, I used to do like a lot of drugs, you know, like a lot of drugs, and you know, like one day at a time. I'm not doing drugs at this point, but my experience with it all was that I did drugs to the point where I was hearing voices, and I was having like intense hallucinations, like really intense. Like, I'm talking about like people were walking around my apartment who were not actually ever there. With all the crazy like spirit world crap that, you know, that was my take on it. You know, all these hallucinations, all these voices. Like, I became preoccupied with the idea of like a spirit world, and I was like researching this stuff like on the internet, trying to figure out like what it was that was happening all around me. And I came across this this YouTube video, and it was this Krishna consciousness guy like in India, and he said it's very difficult for Westerners to be saved because the standard of respect is so much lower, you know, than it is in the Eastern world, where it's easier. And then he very bluntly said, how can you expect to be saved if you eat meat? And I was sitting there like snorting drugs and popping pills and just inhaling stuff and drinking alcohol and smoking. And I'm like, I gotta quit eating meat, you know? In any case, I stopped eating meat. I stopped wearing leather, like any kind of leather, you know, like at the time, like my whole approach to it. This was really a month before I got sober, and my approach to it, I was just that like I thought that this made me better than everybody, and I was like just one of these like holier than thou asshole vegetarians that tells you what you need to be doing and touts, you know. I was really douchey about it, but my experience, like I said, a month later, I got locked up in a psychiatric ward by my friends. Thankfully, I've been clean and sober ever since. And during my journey in sobriety, like the notion of replacing fear with faith or love, like, became important, you know. And I found that by choosing this diet, you know, at the time it was pescatarian, but by even considering compassion in my lifestyle, I benefited, you know, like I genuinely benefited. Like, in people in recovery, like you know, alcoholics and drug addicts who are in recovery, they talk a lot about building self-esteem through esteemable acts, you know, like we're people who don't feel good about ourselves because we've done a lot of crappy shit, and to do things that are esteemable, you know, it builds up our esteem, you know. And I really found that I benefited from being more compassionate in my lifestyle, like I really did, and I became like hungry to do more, you know. I was like, this is making me feel good, I want to do more. Cruelty is unhealthy, compassion is healthy, and that is like a universal rule that stays the same no matter what area you look at, you know. So that's why I'm here today, because like I have benefited from being vegan in every area of my life, in absolutely every area, you know, emotionally, physically, mentally, like, you know, it makes me feel good in every sense, you know, and I just I can't say that enough, you know. I don't like to be the douchebag guy who like looks at people eating meat and tells them that they're wrong, and, you know, like, I don't like to, you know, I don't like to attack people for what they're doing, you know. Like, I just like to really be vocal and speak up about how much I benefited from what I'm doing, you know. And there's a difference there, you know. So any opportunity that I get to promote the vegan lifestyle, to promote, like, to just speak about how choosing compassion has benefited me, like, you know, I'm there, you know. And when I found out about this, an opportunity to just speak up about how happy I am to be vegan, like, there's just no stopping it, you know. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you, you know, to the Kindness Collective and Amber for having me. And thank you guys for having my filthy and the book that you guys have right here, like, I'm not gonna apologize for how filthy it is. It is what it is. You know, my story is not necessarily a flattering one, but I told it very candidly and honestly, and the book I'm really proud of, and that's just my journey that got me where I am today. So thank you guys all so much for being here.